It's Saturday morning, and so it's big cooking weekend because I cook for Saturday and Sunday, and I thought I'd do Italian this weekend. So I've got my sauce on cooking, but it's in a big pot because I have more sauce. I've doubled in half my normal recipe, and I've showed how to do my sauce, so I'm not doing it again. This is an artesian bread. I'll give you the recipe for that. I just got done mixing that and have that rising. So let's just look. So here it is. Now I have doubled my recipe because I'm making 2 loaves. And here where it says let stand for 18 hours, but see the amount of yeast that's in there. What I did, I just put in 2 extra teaspoons of yeast because obviously I'm not going to let that rise for 18 hours. So I probably should have made this last night, but that's okay. Just add more yeast to it. So that's what I did there. And in my refrigerator, I have these 2 casserole dishes and this one with stuffed shells. And this is easy peasy. I didn't need to show you this. Let me just show you. So I didn't use this whole container. I used about 3/4 of it. This is 32 ounces. So I used 3/4 of this one, and I used another whole container. So 1 container, 32 ounces, and a second one, but only 3/4 of it. And for every one of these containers, I always add 4 eggs. So because I didn't use the whole container here, I just used 3. And then I put salt in it, mix my eggs. So I mix my eggs, I put salt, and then I put some parsley in there, mix that all up, and you'll see it will look like it's real runny. That's because the eggs is a liquid right now. But when you bake those, the eggs get cooked, and so that'll start to firm up. So anyway, don't be surprised when they're kind of runny. And so when you bake them, you got to bake them for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I don't double layer those. Don't try to cram all of it into one baking dish because they won't cook evenly. Like your top ones will be good, but your bottom ones won't be cooked all the way through. So I just do it, and I just do 1 layer, and I just do several different containers. And that was just 1 box of the shells that you buy at the store. So that's how I do that, and there's no point in showing you that. So I'm making, in addition to the stuffed shells, we're having raviolis because my daughter wanted ravioli. So I get the cheese and the beef ravioli. So that's why I got a lot of sauce. Plus sauce will go on top of those as well. And what else? Oh, I have some green beans here. I'm going to make Parmesan green beans. And Parmesan green beans is very easy. You just get your green beans. I just lay them out on a baking sheet, or you can put them in a big bowl, and then you just put some oil, some salt and pepper, and some Parmesan cheese, and just toss it all up. And then just get a big pan with just a little bit of water, because you're just going to kind of like steam them through to cook them. And then you just watch your water. Like if you don't have enough water and your beans aren't done, then you have to add a little bit more. So that's all we're doing. That's going to be dinner this weekend. And here's my 2 loaves of bread, all baked. And look at that. Perfection. I had a little bite. Super good. Look at it, snowing outside. The last couple days, it's been almost 70 degrees out. It's been really warm. It was warm all last week. Gonna go out, Ellie? It's really warm. And look, it's snowing, and it's actually sticking to the ground. And remember when I told you I wanted to put my furniture back out, but Harry said, oh no, because he says there'll probably be at least 1 more snow? Well, here it is. And it's really cold today, and it's supposed to be down to the single digits by tomorrow. And look at me. Look how horrible I look.
and I can care less because I am so sick. Remember when Alex was sick a few weeks ago? Carly got sick from him. She kept kissing him, and I said, Carly, when babies are sick, you don't kiss them. And she just kept kissing him, so she got sick. And then I got sick from her. And I think how I got sick from her was the other week we were out doing some shopping, and I'm going to pull this out. We're out doing some shopping and, you know, sitting with her in the car and everything, and she's hacking and sneezing and everything. And I thought, you know, because you're trapped in a small space, you know, inside the car, and I'm like, I'm probably going to get sick. And I'm sick. I have been sick. I started getting sick when I started getting sick. I think it was Tuesday. We went to Costco on Tuesday. Today's Friday, by the way, Friday the 10th of March. Anyway, we went to Costco, and on the way home from Costco, my arms were hurting me so bad, my upper arms. It was really weird. That was like the only thing that was hurting, and I had a little bit of a sore throat. But actually on Monday, I had a sore throat because as soon as my throat started to get sore, look at Lucy. Come on, Lou. The dogs love the snow. As soon as my throat started to get sore Monday, I thought, oh, I'm probably going to get sick because my throat is sore. And then Tuesday, I got up, and it wasn't really sore anymore. So we went to go to Costco, and it was when we were coming home, my arms started to hurt really bad, and my throat started to get really sore again. And this is horrible. This is the first day my nose is not running. I woke up this morning, my nose isn't running. I spent the last few days with tissues up my nose because my nose will not stop. It wouldn't stop running. It finally stopped running now, but I'm still congested. I'm still blowing my nose, but it's not dripping. And last night I was so cold. Oh my gosh, I was so cold. I had on my hoodie, and I had 2 blankets on, and I'm just laying there shivering on my chair over there. It's really bad. So, anyway, I was going to put together a nice little vlog for you guys this week with Josiah cooking. Matter of fact, we were going to do it yesterday, but I was feeling really, really bad yesterday. I told Josiah, we'll try to do it tomorrow. No, actually, we were going to do it Wednesday, and we couldn't do it Wednesday. So then I said, let's try doing it tomorrow. Yesterday I was worse. So today's Friday. We're going to try to do a cooking video for you guys. I said that I was going to try to put out some St. Patrick's Day recipes. And I had in mind several things that I wanted to make to show you guys. I was going to show you how to make soda bread. But you know what? You can go online and you can find soda bread recipes. I was going to do colcannon. Colcannon is potatoes and cabbage. We'll be doing that probably next week for St. Patrick's Day. And maybe St. Patrick's Day while I'm cooking, I'll try to show recipes as I'm cooking. But I was going to put some recipes out in advance, you know, so that you guys could maybe try them next week. But that's not going to happen. However, Josiah, he cooks pretty good. And he makes a couple Irish recipes that he makes them periodically, you know, for us because he likes it and we like it too. One of them is a mushroom soup. And the other one is Brussels sprout potato pancakes? I think that's what it is. And he's going to make those today. And I was going to take out a corned beef. I have 4 corned beefs because Costco was having a really good sale on corned beef. They usually do around St. Patrick's Day in March. And lamb. They have good prices on lamb and corned beef around this time of the year. So I'm one of these people, you know, if you like those meats, you buy them and put them in the freezer so that you can periodically use them throughout the rest of the year or whatever. I'm getting really hot. I feel like I'm getting sweaty. So anyway, I have 4 corned beefs. I was going to do one today, but I started thinking I'm still sick. Josiah's going to do part of the cooking, but I just don't want to be in the kitchen cooking today. I'm going to hold the camera and film him while he's cooking, and that's my effort into dinner today. But I just thought we'd have sandwiches with the soup and then eat the Brussels sprout potato pancakes, whatever. Anyway, I got a few dishes I have to wash here. See, not many, but a few. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to get my blanket and cuddle back up in my chair, and I'm sweating. So anyway, next segment of this should be Josiah cooking. Okay, Josiah, what are we doing here?
Well, I am making one of my favorite recipes from this cookbook, Irish Pub Food.
Yep.
It's called mushroom soup. And so pretty much I'm following the recipe, except I'm doubling it because there's 6 people in this family, and of course most of us love this soup. So pretty much what I'm doing right now is it calls for 3.5 cups of water, but I put in 7 cups of water in the pot.
Then you got chicken bouillon.
No, I got beef bouillon.
Oh, it's beef bouillon.
It's asking for. It says to use chicken bouillons, but because mushrooms is more of a heartier soup, and beef is a hearty food.
Well, it's a beefy sort of thing.
Yeah, so
you pair mushrooms with beef rather than chicken mostly.
And actually, the last time I used the beef bouillon,
and it was better.
It was better than using the chicken bouillon. So
next.
Well, I got the butter ready because I'm going to need 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to need the butter to saute the mushrooms, and I'm going to need the remaining butter for the roux, which comes later.
And here's mushrooms here. So it calls for mostly shiitake mushrooms.
Shiitake, oyster, and portobellas.
And Josiah does have a couple packs of these, but the portobellas, there was a lot of mushrooms in that, so he just decided to just use the whole pack of the portobello. So we're going to do that with the shiitake mushroom. So there we go. All the mushrooms sauteing. And the broth over there is coming along.
Still gotta wait for it to come to a boil though, and then I gotta add the cream.
So Josiah dumped all the mushrooms and the juices, and it was sauteed in butter, so the butter, all of that, olive oil, yeah, all of that was put in here. So Josiah, let's show this. This is, of course, Josiah is doubling everything, but these are the instructions here, the ingredients that you need. So it's 6 tablespoons of butter, a small onion, 4 cups of water, 3 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. We use the beef, and then it's your mushrooms. And for the roux, it's a teaspoon of lemon juice with 4 tablespoons of flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of white pepper, and 1 cup of half and half or whipping cream. But we, of course, doubled all of this. But this is your list of ingredients right here for this mushroom soup. So making a roux, and the instructions said, to just use a slotted spoon to put the mushrooms in the soup, but Josiah always just dumps everything in there, the juices and everything. And when making a roux, we just start over with it. Because the other thing is, too, when you're making a roux, you're going to try to thicken up your, it's the butter and the flour with your milk or your cream, and you have to thicken it. But you got to remember, when you're sauteing your mushrooms, the liquid, whatever liquid is in the mushrooms, cooks out, and that's where you get all that juice. Well, that's not good for your, making your roux. So we start over, and the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of
flour.
4 tablespoons.
4 tablespoons of flour, right. And if you're using 4 tablespoons of flour to make a roux, it has to be equivalent, yes, with the butter, which is 4 tablespoons.
And then
I mean, this is just like even if you're making a cheese sauce and you're making a roux. If you use 4 tablespoons of flour, you use 4 tablespoons of butter. If you use 6 tablespoons of flour, it's 6 tablespoons of butter. Your butter and your flour has to be equivalent at all times. Now, the other thing that we added to this was a teaspoon of lemon juice. That's what the recipe calls for. So as soon as this gets thick, this goes into the mushroom soup there.
Off.
Okay.
All right, so now
nice and thick.
Yes. And then you just pour it in. Okay. Make sure I get all the roux in here. That's the one thing when it comes to cooking. Mom always calls me the soup man.
You do make good soups.
Well, I ain't a Gordon Ramsay, but I try. After that, you stir the roux with the broth.
So it gets nice and creamy.
Give it like a nice little creamy brown color.
And that's all there is to it. Mushroom soup. So we're having this for dinner today, and we're having sandwiches. And it's was going to be a little bit too much to do the Brussels sprout potato pancakes, so we're going to do that. We're going to try to do that one tomorrow. But we at least showed you this mushroom soup.
Buttery.
Yep. So there we go. Mushroom soup. And we'll be back tomorrow. Bye.